makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part.
If you've wondered how far to the right the Overton window in the United States has reached, well, wonder no further. It has gone so far to the right that now sitting members of Congress can post videos on Twitter or any other platform where they fantasize about killing their peers. That's exactly what Republican Representative Paul Gosar did by posting a video in which he fantasizes killing Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and also hints at killing the President of the United States, Joe Biden. And what's shocking about this is not so much the video itself, which admittedly is quite psychopathic, so much that he scares his own family, as I will show later in this video, but the fact that there has been almost zero condemnation in terms of any effective measures taken against this. So he has not been condemned by his own party, which goes to show how this behavior is pretty normalized now among conservatism in the Republican Party. But also the fact that the Democratic Party just doesn't really have it in them to ever criticize the extremities of the right. On the other hand, they seem terrified of the left for reasons unknown. So let's watch this. Let's look at his Twitter profile to get a hint at what this guy is all about. He is a representative of Arizona, which seems to be having the monopoly on sociopaths and psychopaths these days, on both sides of the aisle, being Kirsten Sinema's home state. He's chairman of the Congressional Nuclear Caucus. I would never want a guy like this to be anywhere near anything capable of starting a nuclear reaction. But yeah, anti-immigration, obviously. If you're in your 60s, you should not be sharing Wojak memes. I'm just saying. Yeah. He's in that Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, batshit insane. He has associations with far-right militias, Proud Boys, etc. He is definitely among like the open fascists of the Republican Party. And let's watch this video. It is, I mean, the video itself it's basically taking an anime video. It's really the implications of what it means that's disturbing, not so much the video itself. So let's watch this. Now, note that this has like some degree of editing. So clearly this involved his staff, doing, I would say it's definitely not a piece of professional video editing, but it's definitely not something that he, concocted in some 15 minutes of spare time. This definitely had like institutional production behind it. Oh, immigrants, of course, immigrants. Law and order. Of course. So that's supposed to be AOC. And she gets killed. More law and order. What a brave war. And there you go. About to kill Joe Biden. More law and order. The masculine inferiority complex of these people is absolutely amazing. What the hell does Matt Gaetz have anything to do with, like, why are you promoting a freaking pedophile? Anyway, yeah, that is, you know, you're killing AOC, and you're on the verge of killing Joe Biden. Uh, I think he cut it like right before he actually kills Joe Biden, just because obviously that would give him some plausible deniability. But still, this is just this is behavior that is completely unbecoming of a congressperson. Just, I mean, if this was just your average Twitter right-wing nutter, fine. I'm sure this is, way worse stuff appears on social media. But dude, you represent your people. You represent your state. You represent your country. How on earth do you spend, taxpayer money paying someone to edit this video? That's, cringe on so many levels. Because again, a 60-year-old man putting an anime video is bad enough. The fact that it's being used to show him killing some of his peers across the aisle is just disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. And again, he brushes this off with a meme. It's even, oh my god, your cartoon anime scares me with your jetpack flying and lightsabers. It's a cartoon. Relax. It's not a cartoon. It's the intent behind it. It's the culture that you create by enabling this kind of behavior. And I repeat, he has not been condemned sufficiently by the Republican Party, and also not by the Democratic Party. As far as I know, Joe Biden hasn't said anything about it either, despite the fact that he's next on the list, apparently. Yeah. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez responded to this. So while I was en route to Glasgow, a creepy member I work with who fundraises for neo-Nazi groups shared a fantasy video of him killing me. And he'll face no consequences because GOP leader Kevin McCarthy cheers him on with excuses. Fun Monday. Well, back to work because institutions don't protect women of color. Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of behavior that enables some nutter. I'm not saying that everyone who watches a video like this will feel, oh, now I can kill AOC. No. But there is a tiny percentage of people who that like moment of that bit of their lizard brain will activate and be like, oh, I guess it's kind of fine after all if a congressperson says it's okay. And you never know what can happen. I mean, in Britain, you've now had two sitting members of parliament murdered in the last couple of years. One of them by a right-wing extremist, the other one by a Muslim extremist. Let's be fair. But you don't see people getting murdered by left-wing extremists, because that's not the kind of political culture that the left is cultivating. This is exclusive to the right. Anyway, I mentioned that his psychopathy is such that he's even scaring his own family. So his sister appeared on MSNBC, and this is what she has to say. And note the how disturbed she is when she's talking about him. Like, this is legitimate fear of someone who is close to you, I guess has access to you, and is, deranged in the head. And it must be incredibly, excruciating to have a family member this insane and that powerful that, could harm you. So let's watch.
Joining us now is Jennifer Gosar, Paul Gosar's sister. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I know this is difficult for you. You and your brother Tim have spoken about your brother Paul. What is wrong with him, and is it getting worse?
Yes, it's getting worse because he has not been held accountable in any way, shape, or form. He's not been censured. He's not been expelled. And he's not had his seat forfeited by any of the leadership. And by that, I don't mean to specify Minority Leader McCarthy and McConnell. I do mean Speaker Nancy Pelosi. I do mean Senate Leader Chuck Schumer. I do mean Attorney General Merrick Garland. I mean, where are these people? Does he need to act on his sociopathic fantasy for Representative Ocasio-Cortez? I am very concerned for she and other members, and this is absolutely unacceptable. I do not understand it, and I'm livid, Lawrence.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez tweeted a reply tonight. She said, "So while I was en route to Glasgow, a creepy member I work with who fundraises for neo-Nazi groups shared a fantasy video of him killing me. And he'll face no consequences because Leader McCarthy cheers him on with excuses." She obviously puts up with more threats than most people in the history of the House of Representatives. But what is new is that those threats are coming from a member of the House of Representatives.
And you would think that those very members alongside this person would hold him accountable. No, they leave it to family members to come forward in the public, and it's on a show like yours, which, by the way, thank you for letting me speak out here again. This is my first time on your show, but I appreciate any opportunity to put a spotlight on this awful man. I mean, honestly, is there one policy, is there one insight that Paul has ever brought to his district, to Arizona, to the United States of America? And absolutely, unequivocally, the answer is no. And in fact,
just imagine your own sister saying this about you. Just imagine that. Like, that's how bad it is.
What he is expounding upon in his sick fantasies is the fact that he cannot even approach the intellect of Representative Ocasio-Cortez. He cannot respond with his word salad and somehow meet her intelligence or her information. So what he has to do is call out his Groyper brothers and sisters, whoever they may be, and like show them what he wishes, lest one of them act on it. It's very concerning, and he must be stopped.
So the Groyper reference is, I think he was in some kind of rally or meeting with Nick Fuentes, which he later, I think, disowned. But still, the fact is he was there and associated himself with Nick Fuentes.
When you say he's getting worse, is there a mental deterioration that you're observing?
I think so. I mean, I think it's apparent. I see comments consistently about his head movements, his speech. I mean, I'm using the word salad, and I think I'm using it correctly in a clinical way. He doesn't speak in complete sentences. He's often word finding. He can't find the right word. So you often hears malaprops, but it's not a malaprop. It's a neurological problem. And I suspect he has a neurodegenerative condition, but I don't know that. You can ask him, he'll deny it. But of course, like everything else that my eldest brother says, it is a lie.
Okay. So yeah, I have seen some videos of Gosar, and he does have some very strange pet movements at times. The whole word fumbling around. I'm not really sure that's necessarily associated with his other psychotic beliefs and attitudes. I mean, I often struggle, as those of you who've seen my videos, I often, my mind's racing. I can't find the right word, and sometimes I pause. So I don't think that is representative of his mental problems. Might he have mental problems? I'm pretty sure he does. But you don't need to have these mannerisms. It's really what you are demonstrating in terms of who you're associating with, what your policies are. This obsession with immigration, this fetishizing of law and order, which we saw in this video. This is really the signs of someone who is, well, fundamentally, insecure about himself in many ways, because everyone who has that kind of obsession over law and order has some really deep insecurities. I mean, that's a kind of a fact. But it's just, this idea that I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna have my team produce a video where I kill another congressperson in an anime setting. That's just demented. That's absolutely demented. And again, the real problem here is not so much that he made this video, because maybe he's just one nutter among them all. No, it's the fact that he doesn't get censured. The fact that the political class in the United States of America, the world's most powerful and influential country, can't, or rather, can't is not the right word, won't, because it's an issue of will, censure a guy like this, which would be unacceptable in almost any other political class in any industrialized country. I mean, this is how empires die. Okay, this is really the sign of just how corrosive discourse has become in politics. And what it also shows, I think, without any kind of reasonable doubt anymore, is people need to understand what the problem, who is behind the problem in the US. Because we have like economist covers saying that the biggest threat to Western democracy is the illiberal left. And you have all these people blaming the left. When you have a guy like this, an open fascist in Congress, essentially posting videos where he wants to kill his peers. And that's fine. And that is fine. And that is the problem, along with the bigger problem, which is the liberal centrists who don't think this is the biggest problem and who don't want to also do anything about this and who stay quiet regardless of how insane the far right gets. Yeah. You know, this really is the reminder of that Edmund Burke quote. The only thing that evil needs to succeed is for good to do nothing, or something like that. This is the result of all of liberal centrism's failed policies, the emergence of a reactionary anti-establishment right, and then their failure to do anything about this is what enables these people to come to power. That's how the game is played. But yeah, keep thinking the left is the problem. On that note, if you like this video, please like, please share, and most importantly, please subscribe to the channel so that we can get to 500. And if you live in Arizona, oh my God, I genuinely feel sorry for you. Yeah. Anyway, see you next time.